Hi, this is Allison Hawkins with the Alliance for Charitable Reform, and I have Pat Reed, who has her own consulting firm, and she's a nonprofit expert. She was formerly with Independent Sector, and we are happy to have Pat here today. We're going to talk about some issues that are bubbling in the states with nonprofits. Pat, welcome.
Thanks, Allison. It's great to be here.
And we're doing this call via Skype, and so we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So, Pat, there's a lot of activity in the states right now and lots of things that we should be watching. Why don't we start with the first issue, tax exemption? That seems to be on everybody's mind over in the UK and here. So what are some things that we should be watching with tax exemptions?
Well, as you said, there's been recently a big, huge battle across the seas about what constitutes a charity. What really is the benefit that charities give back, and who defines what is and isn't a charity? And so they went through a huge battle, and people will laugh. This goes back to Gladstone in the 1800s, and so this is not a new battle, but it's really one that's taking place in county commissioners, city governments, state legislators, and of course even in Congress. But at the state level, it's really boiling down to, it's a lot of focuses on colleges and universities and hospitals and private schools, but the decisions that are being made affect all nonprofits, because at the state level, there's really no legal distinction between different types of nonprofits, and even in many states, there's little distinction between foundations and other types of nonprofits. So there's serious questions going on about what is the benefit that charities provide in return for their tax exemptions. Now, yesterday in Illinois, the governor and the legislature just came out with a new decision about property tax exemption requirements for hospitals that is really quite different from anything we've seen in any other state or local area. Chicago's been and Illinois have been leading the way on looking at this question about hospitals, and they've even state of Illinois has denied property tax exemption to a number of hospitals that they didn't think were doing enough to benefit particularly the poor, but other community benefits. Now, this new proposal or new requirement goes far beyond than just uncompensated or free care, which is a good step for hospitals because it recognizes that it's not just free services, it's other ways that we benefit the community in terms of health education, supporting government in the case of supplementing Medicare and Medicaid services. But that's require a lot of study by there's law firms busy studying this right now. It just came out yesterday, and certainly it's easy for many of us in the nonprofit field to say, oh, well, that's just hospitals. But in fact, the precedents that are being set with hospitals are easily applied to other types of nonprofits. And once we get those things set, then other legislators and legislatures will be looking to, okay, well, if that's what it means for a hospital to provide care and services to the community and support government, what does it mean for a museum? What does it mean for a private school? What does it mean for a private foundation?
Right. So this seems like it could be a slippery slope and definitely something that we should keep our eye on, right?
Well, I think we not only need to keep our eye on, I think, recently there was something from the Nonprofit Quarterly where the discussion was really that this is something that nonprofits need to be part of the discussion. Not just sitting on the sidelines letting someone else decide what is or isn't tax exempt. But through our daily work, through our own publicity, we need to be letting people know what it is that we do. And in some cases, many nonprofits have started to find ways to quantify that, to put a dollar value on the services that they provide to the community.
Yeah. There is definitely a lot of value in nonprofits telling their own story, and I think that that's going to be really important in this entire discussion. So, this has been ACR Issues in Philanthropy. Stay tuned for Part 2, Compensation and Governance.